Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's revamp of Pass the Controller. A little different from last time in that we actually have video of everyone here, so you can actually see our lovely faces for the most part, and you could actually be able to see the little scorecard I have here, so you can keep track at home as to what the scores are. All right, today we have Tony, Allen,
Hi.
Rob. I think I screwed up the name. But yeah, we have Tony, Alevin, and Rob here today, and and today's topics are going to be a couple good ones, couple current events going on. We got a bit on Destiny, we got a bit on Microsoft, and a few showdown topics. All right. To begin the show, we will have the topic of Microsoft buying out Minecraft and the implications on the game's future. As we know, Microsoft did buy out Minecraft for about $2.5 billion, which is lunch money for us. So, yeah, Tony, we'll start off with you. What do you think?
So I think this is a great deal. So Microsoft gets a commodity, which is Minecraft, which is a money-making machine, at least merchandise-wise, and they get to pump their dollars into a game that has far-reaching cultural aspects. So, it's not so much about Minecraft the game anymore because that install base is already so huge. Everybody has this game already for the most part, especially little kids. The way they're going to push it now is kind of into the classroom. So using services like Minecraft EDU to spearhead different programs that move the game in an educational realm. But yeah, I feel like this is a whole lot like the Facebook buying Oculus deal. They just get to pump money into a program that has far-reaching implications. I really think it's a good thing. And I could see, maybe even in the course of the next 2 or 3 years, Minecraft becoming that game that's already installed on your PC, with your Minesweeper and your Solitaire and Hearts. Minecraft is just going to be there for everybody. The only thing that concerns me about it is Minecraft a fad? I mean, it came out in, 2009, I want to say, or maybe it was earlier than that. But yeah, so does this have staying power? It seems like it does, but is this going to be around forever? Only time will tell. But so far, I think it's a really good thing.
All right. Alevin?
Well, I think it's a great thing. Similar things like that, but at the same time, it's a game that's still very popular, and I don't think the popularity is going to end anytime soon. I think I can foresee in the future with Minecraft, Microsoft, with all the good things going on around it, I could foresee some exclusive things for Xbox or for anything with Microsoft. I could potentially see potential future updates in the game that could be accessed if you only have, say, the Xbox version. I can foresee a little bit that it might start to exclude the other versions. Like, what's going to happen to the ones on PlayStation or the computer? They might get these updates, but what's going to happen to where it is everything else? Is it going to go from the other competition, like PlayStation? We might see it come out with more updates, with more exclusives that could potentially bring... I mean, it's all over the place. It's all over the place, this game, but I can see them trying to do more exclusive things with Minecraft for their system and for anything that they have, like maybe just PC. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Rob?
Well, the first thing I gotta say is $2.5 billion. Damn! That's Instagram kind of money. But at the same time, Minecraft is actually a property worthy of those kind of dollars because it actually does something useful. It's the Lego of the future. I work in a candy store, and Minecraft merch on kids, there's more of that than any single other intellectual property, more than any individual superhero, more than Angry Birds, more than even any individual Disney film. So, I mean, when you're talking about something that you're going to be throwing that much money at, Minecraft is the one. So, good call on Microsoft's part.
Okay.
Now, I'm a little on the fence about Notch just jumping ship as soon as it got sold. Granted, this is their retirement fund, basically. So they don't really need to be there.
Wouldn't
But
you
all
say
the-
his retirement
all-
fund came when he first made the game?
Right?
Hey, if he's not seeing any of that 2.5 billion, he's doing something wrong.
I've seen a lot of it.
Anyways, there's one big loser from this, and I don't think it's been mentioned yet, but how about all of those people who make YouTube shows based on stuff that they build in Minecraft? People who make Zelda dungeons, people who will make a replica of the Serenity from Firefly, people who just make whatever, or they just a series of clips of them getting blown up by creepers. Now that this is owned by Microsoft, I think that there's going to be a lot greater pursuit of copyright infringement, and some of these people making a little cottage industry out of Minecraft videos, they might get shut down.
Yeah.
Also, Microsoft does not have a massive experience of handling large intellectual properties. Their main three are Halo, Forza, and Fable. They aren't going to have the car companies backing them like in Forza. They're not really a game, kind of like Halo is. And Fable seems to base all of its marketing on the fact that the previous entry sucks and this one's going to get better, which doesn't instill a whole lot of confidence.
It's been that way since the first one, too.
Yeah.
You mentioned
This
you
shit
mentioned,
sucks,
you
so
mentioned
this
the
shit's gonna be
intellectual
better.
properties.
Also,
They own
can I-
Halo. Halo's a gigantic property.
It's pretty big.
But how much of it is they're doing versus Bungie?
But the fact is, they
That's
still
my
own
question.
it, and kind of like how they own Minecraft. So it's not the first property that they have bought or owned. They own Windows, for God's sakes, which has a user base of a bajillion.
Right.
So
Um,
it's not necessarily just games that they own. You something to say? Tony?
Yeah, can I have one counterpoint here? Just as I think it was you, Rob, that mentioned, Notch isn't going to be there, and so are the other two top guys at was it Mojang? They haven't been working on the game for the past few years. They've been working on Scrolls and a few other different games. So that top talent, they weren't going to be there anyways. Like, this was their way out. The people that have been making Minecraft for the past 4 or 5 years are the guys that are still with the company. So I really don't think Microsoft's going to screw anything up. All they have to do is like, here's money. Keep doing what you've been doing. Don't mess with the community. They're just buying the right to make money off of it. That's all they're really doing. And I mean, until they do something contrary to that, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Okay.
Could I make a point
Go
too?
for it.
And speaking of monetization, what does that bring up to people on YouTube? Like, as he had said before, there's a huge community. Like, there are some channels devoted to nothing but Minecraft, either being the building concept or just fooling around with it. And a lot of them do a lot of monetization, and a lot of people depend on it. Since Microsoft bought it, what's going to happen to that? If they want to make money off of it, are they going to turn around and say, okay, this is ours now, you have to pay us, or we take a percentage now? What's going to happen to those people? That could happen. We don't know if it will.
Why
but
would they want to
will
ruin
do.
Why would they want to ruin the community by doing something like that?
Because
though?
they could charge a small franchise fee.
I mean,
Like,
but
it would
it's-
still... they probably wouldn't make it like, oh my god, you've got to pay $1,000 a month to show
Well, yeah.
your, like, mountain of poop that you constructed in Minecraft.
Oh, God. Yeah, but
I'm
but
sure that that's a video.
The golden dongles. There you go. as Yahtzee eloquently puts it. But all right, definitely a lot of good points there. So I guess we could say we could close off this round. All right, Tony has 8 points right now.
yes.
Also, same thing with Eleven, and Rob is currently with 7. All of you guys had some very good arguments on that one, so that was a good one. So, all right, I guess we can move on to our second main topic, Destiny. Destiny and Destiny being Bungie's newest foray after Halo and their other projects. They're planning on making it a 10-year plan. Now, considering the complaints that people have currently about the game and like how it's really good in some areas but really lacking in some other areas, what do you think about their whole idea of making it a 10-year plan? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think that they set themselves up well? What do you got? This time we'll start with Rob.
All right. From a story perspective, I think they got this. There's been a precedent set with Star Wars Expanded Universe, the Marvel movie franchises, the Halo franchise itself, MMOs, comic books in general. There's a lot of mediums that have been able to take a long-form look, and there's going to be some inconsistencies, especially because it's a game. But at the same time, they're going to be able to go the distance with making a cohesive story. What I want to see is more than just the Destiny game as is integrated into this universe. I want to see multiple games working together with users in a certain faction working towards the goal of beating either the ultimate evil or themselves, depending on how far the story has progressed. So what I'd like to see is EVE Online for all those people that really like spreadsheets. They can macro manage large factions. Then you've got maybe a Payday 2 thing for the stealth nuts, where it's purely team of players versus computer, because you can't really do stealth very well, player versus player. It's either going to be not that much of an advantage or horribly broken. It's hard to find a middle ground there. And then maybe for someone who's more on the casual scene, or just something to play on a train or a bus, you could have like a Bejeweled or a Candy Crush puzzler that will add you resources, do micromanagement, some way to help out your team and your group of friends playing the game.
Okay. All right. Allie?
Okay, mind you, I have not played Destiny. I have seen videos, I've watched other people play it, and I'm a little uncertain about the 10-year plan, because, and especially when online games, I played a lot of them in the past. Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And after the end, there's always an expansion. You don't know how long the game can last, but there's always an expansion to the story that comes on later.
Okay.
What if they do a whole 10-year process, the game doesn't live up to that 10-year plan? I mean, it's huge right now, but we don't know what's going to happen maybe 5, 3, even 2 years from now. The game could suddenly drop in popularity. I'm not saying it will, but having ahead of a 10-year plan is a bit of a jump. With games like this, you don't know what's going to change, what the community is going to be like, who's going to stay, and who's going to go. And with all of the problems I have heard about it, I see the game maybe coming up around 5 years. I think they should have designed this game to have a beginning to the story, have a middle with a twist like in every other movie and video game that I've seen, and have an end. So if the 10-year plan doesn't work out, then everyone gets the story that everyone wanted. They get a satisfying conclusion. So if it doesn't work out, then this 10-year plan, there's just so many things that can go wrong, especially in today's market. Anything can go wrong.
Okay. All right. Tony?
Okay, so I'm just going to start off with, I don't care about the story in Destiny at all. I've played it all the way through. I could give zero shits about the story in this game, because there really isn't much of a story. The problem I see with this quote-unquote 10-year plan is content. So our first installment, people ran through the content in the game within 12 hours. I had friends beat everything in 12 hours, excluding the raid that they put in just a week or two ago. But yeah, like, I need more content. If this game's going to last 10 years, you need to prove to me that there's going to be some variation in your mission setup, that there's going to be more classes, more different types of guns, different ways to level, different stuff. This game is all one quest over and over and over again, aside from one mission where you get a sword, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was an awesome mission. So I need more stuff like that. I mean, Bungie has proven in the past. I mean, look at Halo. There's so many different types of missions in that game, even like an on-rail section or some sort of race section. Something. This world has a lot of potential to make something cool, and they just haven't hit that mark yet. But the big thing is that this game cost $500 million to make. I'll say it again, $500 million. So they already made all that money back in the first week. That was just from their retail sales. They sold through 325 million copies, but they already made their money back. So there's no way that this first installment of the game was $500 million. There's absolutely no way. And if it was, somebody fucked up. So my thinking is that they have a lot of expansions and more raids, more dungeons, more everything kind of lined up a few months down the road. I mean, the first expansion comes out in December, and I think the next one in February. These things are going to be coming, and hopefully they're as big of a chunk of content as this first game was. If it's anything less than that, then 10 years is way too far-sighted.
Speaking of those expansions,
Mm-hmm.
I propose to you guys, do you think it's too soon that they have their first expansion coming out?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Not if they're planning to go 10 years.
Okay.
And I do have a counterpoint about his story, is I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to have a story for something that's going on so long that you don't give a shit about. Don't you want to have some kind of effect on a narrative of something that millions, possibly tens of hundreds of millions of people that could be interacting with? It just seems like this is what they want to do with this game. It seems like the ideal platform to integrate some kind of massive universe, and it is a universe in itself since it's taking place in our space.
Right. My only thing to say to that, I guess, is that I played all the Halo games. I really, really deeply enjoyed those games. I couldn't tell you more than a very, very brief synopsis of what was going on in that story. Because that's not the main thing about it. I mean, the one point you can take from it is rampancy is bad. That's all you can take from Halo for the most part, at least in my view. So I don't really care that the story's lackluster as long as the game plays well. I mean, the story has to be there, don't get me wrong, but that's in the background. Like I care about shooting aliens and having it be a smooth, fun process. Anything less than that is not what I want.
If I could also make a point too, in regards to the story, they really did mess up in the terms of story. I know Bungie, excuse my pronunciation. They had Halo, and it was a great shooting game. But with Destiny, they really advertised it to home. Like, even I was interested, and I'm not into shooting games that much. I was like really into Borderlands 2. But with Destiny, there was this whole universe that I really wanted to know. Why were you chosen? What is this world? What's the story? What's the darkness? I want to know. I got really, even though I don't have a PlayStation 4, I was going to get Destiny because for me, story is super important. And they could have not only brought in an old market of people that, people that were into Halo shooters, PvP, they could have brought in a whole new market, a whole new fans to this story with Destiny. Had they told the story and brought it out and really pushed it, they could have had a whole new market, new fans, and people to stay along. Because not everyone's going to stay for the content. There's going to be people that are going to want the story. They're going to want to know what they're fighting for. There are people that are really interested in those kind of things. I know I'm one of them. I'm a huge fan of story. I want to be invested, and I want a villain that I want to shoot. That's just interesting. They could have hammered it home with the story, and I don't think it's gonna succeed with 10 years. You can do all the content in the world, but if your story is lackluster, not everyone's gonna stay.
Wouldn't the story be part of the content, though?
It could be part of the content, but at the same time, if you're just making content with no context, just to go play, then what are you playing the content for?
Okay. All right. Any further thoughts about Destiny, you guys?
Titan rules. That's all I got.
Well, Doyle
Titan.
rules. All right. All right. So, all right. That's our second main topic. Let's tally up the scores here. 2, 3, 4. All right. Got Tony with 10 that round.
Screw around.
All right. Ali also with 10. And Rob with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 that round. All right. So, as we see for the scores for today, got Tony with 18, Ali with 18, and Rob with 15. All right. So for tonight, our showdown is going to be between Tony and Ali. All right. Congrats to both of them.
I'm calling bullshit on this. They only got more points because they talk longer. They didn't have anything more to say.
You all had the same amount of time, pretty much. I've been monitoring. I was actually monitoring time this time. You guys did great. You guys did a fantastic job with sticking to time. All right. So
Showdown.
so now we have the showdown between Tony and Ali. I like my little even with the little thunderbolt there. I like it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Alrighty. Well, our first showdown topic for today is the new Smash Brothers. Will it work on the 3DS? We've heard so far it's been released in Japan. The demo's been oh wow. The demo has been released for the
Okay, he's
general
gotta get a
populace
point
in the
for
United
that.
States.
I should get a
Hell,
point.
I've
I mean,
been-
that's a
I've been
tattoo. That's
playing
an
it quite a
actual
bit.
tattoo.
And,
He didn't just put some water like a sponge on it.
You've probably been breaking my 3DS playing this stinking game, and so far I've enjoyed it for the most part, but there are some issues that I've had with it. Do you guys think that it can actually work on the 3DS in addition to a console? You see you shaking your head, Tony. So we'll start with you.
Beautiful. So obviously, as you guys can see, avid Smash fan. I'm a big fan of the series. I used to play competitively. I still play as much as possible. Love the series. Love the game. That being said, on the 3DS, it's not going to work at all. I've already seen within the first couple of days of release in Japan, the sticks are breaking, buttons are breaking, things are breaking on the system. It's a hardcore game when you get into it. Even as a casual player, you're mashing those buttons. It's a fighting game. It's going to break your console. Like, I have 8 GameCube controllers upstairs because I've flown through them over the years because of intense play of that game. There's no way it's going to work on that device. It's funny, right before we started this podcast, I was showing Rob a video I found of somebody who modded a GameCube controller to work on the 3DS to play it, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect idea, but it looked extremely complicated.
There were like 10 wires going from the GameCube controller into the 3DS.
It's not going to work. That being said, I like that they're trying to hit a bigger audience with... Oh, I'm done?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. All right.
Mega Man win.
Okay. I honestly think it will work. I have to disagree fully with him because as I think it's going to be huge with it on the 3DS because I don't think when they put it on there they weren't going for the hardcore crowd in the first place. They were thinking with kids, teenagers. When kids go to school, they're playing at lunch. Hey, do you want to play with me? Sure. And they're going to compete and play against each other during lunchtime. I think it was a great idea for that purpose because they're just going not just for the competitive area, they're going for the playground. They're going for the bus stop, like anything that, because a lot of kids, especially my 13-year-old nephew, he's going to play this game and he's going to go take it and go play with his friends. I think it's huge for a casual player who just wants to go play with their friends and they don't have time to sit on the couch. They can just go and just take the controller and just go play like right at school, right at lunchtime, even after school. I think it's great, especially for the casual perspective, especially for kids, because nowadays, well, maybe not like what used to be, kids, they're going to go out. They're going to go out and do things, and this is perfect for them.
Okay.
My one retort to that's going to be is the parent that sees their kids 3DS they spent all their money on to buy them that system, it messed up from playing this game. There's going to be some complaints. There's going to be a lot of backlash from that, I feel like.
They can, But if I can also counterpoint, at the same time, if they're the ones throwing their controller because they're angry at something that happened at the game, that's not so much their fault. That would be the parents' turn to take the DS away for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, all right, well, for this round, I gotta go with the technical issues with the 3DS. I have to agree with that one. While yes, the casual gaming area will be a big selling point for it, and it could work that way. But when you have your 3DSs breaking, that's going to prevent you from playing regardless of how much fun it is or how many friends you have. You're going
And
to need
future
to buy a new one,
Nintendo
and it's going to make
games.
the parent angry at them for breaking their system just by playing it, not necessarily by throwing it, but they need to. I think they need to. I do agree. They need to increase the durability of the 3DS before they really go full in on this. It has potential. I definitely agree with that, and it definitely will be hitting a very key market. But the technical issues will be a little tricky to overcome, at least at the start. So for this one, I give the point to Tony. All right. Up next, we have quite a few games coming out for the holiday season. And what do you guys think about, like, any holiday game predictions? Like, you have Hyrule
I ain't
Warriors,
saying
you have the new
shit, bro. I
Pokemon
don't
game, you
wanna
got
see
the
that.
new Smash Brothers. You got a ton. Nintendo's putting out a lot of games. So, there's a bunch of games coming out for Sony. There's a ton of games coming out. What predictions do you have? Allie, we'll start with you this time.
I honestly think I think Nintendo's going to make a comeback. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games coming out with Xbox and Sony. The market is kind of weak right now, just a little bit, but with all the good games that are coming out, I think Nintendo's going to make a comeback. It's been having a rough time the last couple of years, but with the big things coming out, even with Hyrule Warriors coming out, I really see Nintendo's big lineup of games that are coming out in this holiday season. I think they're gonna be the big contenders, with probably Sony and Xbox. Probably they're gonna be clashing together, but I think Nintendo's gonna come up on top this time. They really do have a good lineup, especially with Hyrule Warriors. Oh man, I think that, and even the games even already released, will be big even in the holiday season.
All right. Tony?
My counterpoint to that, Smash is going to sell regardless. That's a huge game. Hyrule Warriors, I think, is going to be a big time flop. It's just Dynasty Warriors with Legend of Zelda characters. I'm sorry. I've watched some footage of it on Twitch. It doesn't look that compelling. I think the other next gen consoles are going to have the big splash this holiday season. I mean, just some of the ones that stuck out to me: Alien Isolation, Shadow of Mordor, the new Lord of the Rings game, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, Sunset Overdrive, finally an Xbox One exclusive people actually want to play. More than a week on by Titanfall. Far Cry 4, that's going to be a huge game. Those are the type of games I think are going to explode, or at least those are the games that I'm excited about for this holiday season. Obviously, super excited about Smash, but I don't have a Wii U. I have no reason to have one yet. But it's these games, especially Shadow of Mordor. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that game, and it's got a very interesting mechanic that hasn't been really done before. Cool fighting system, awesome backdrop. I mean, Lord of the Rings is pretty sweet for the most part, but they haven't done like a more adult, dark-centric version of it, and I think that's what this game's going to be.
Okay.
At least I hope so.
Isn't that coming out like in a couple? That's only coming out in a couple weeks, actually, right?
Yeah, it's coming out real soon. I mean, I would say once we get to September, October, like that's holiday season.
Yeah, that's true.
And Far Cry 4 is going to be awesome. Just Far Cry 3 is one of my favorite games of the last couple of years. This next one's going to be super sweet, especially because there's elephants. It's going to be awesome.
If I can also counterpoint at the same time, with the last couple of months, like games like Destiny, even Titanfall, all those other games, they've had huge hype with showing off their gameplay. But then when they come out, it's been a bit lackluster. The games that you've talked about they look great. They look fantastic. But at the same time, I'm skeptical. After all the marketing that's been going on, that say, yeah, this game is fantastic, and then they don't come up to snuff,
Okay.
I think people are going to trust Nintendo more. Nintendo lately has been advertising that, hey, here's our game, play it. They haven't been manipulating, they've shown their games, and they've let people play it and judge it for themselves. And I think because they've been taking this market strategy, that in the holiday season, when their game's coming out, it's going to show in the sales.
Okay. There, Tony?
Yeah, one other thing to say, I guess to that, it's great that Nintendo is putting out these demos, especially for Smash Brothers. That's awesome. But I mean, take a look at Far Cry 4's strategy, where I think it's like you can gift the game to 4 people or something like that, and have other people play on your game when you get it. So let's say my buddy Rob over here, I buy Far Cry 4, and he doesn't want to buy the game or has no interest in it or whatever, I can kind of gift him a copy of the game so he can play the full game with me. I'm not sure what the time constraints are on it, but you can play the full game with me as a buddy playing co-op, and then if he chooses to buy the game and play with me or play for himself, whatever he wants to do, he can choose to do that. I mean, that's kind of counter to that point. I really don't think Nintendo is going to make it with just Smash Brothers and a Dynasty Warriors clone. I think they need more than that. They need to have another Zelda game come out. They need a Star Fox or a Metroid or, God forbid, a new IP. That would be great.
Let's not go too crazy.
But no, Splatoon does look pretty sweet though. I like just put that game out. Put that game out right now.
Yeah.
Charge $35 because it's a small game, and then that will drive people to that system. I would probably buy one.
All right.
But
But yeah, definitely, Ali definitely made a very good point during this because Nintendo is putting all their eggs into one basket for this one. The survival of the Wii U is depending on Smash Brothers, and so far, it looks awesome. They are going to be making a mountain of money from this. Like
they
needed that game. They needed that game to move systems. And honestly, just for myself, the reason why I picked up a Wii U is for Smash Brothers.
I did the same.
In addition to the other games, but the Smash Brothers game gave me that reason to get the Wii U. That's what pushed me over, and I think that's really what's going to affect a lot of people because Smash is one of those games that really drives people in. And Hyrule Warriors, while yes, it is a Dynasty Warriors clone, there's a large fan base for that type of game, and combining that the Dynasty Warriors fan base with the people who actually want to be able to play as other characters, I think it's going to do I think it's going to do better than what most people expect. And while yes, Far Cry does have the gift of like the game gift system that they have there, it looks awesome. And there's a lot of other games, but I do agree. Nintendo is looking to basically go all or nothing this holiday season to come back into the fray. And with Smash Brothers, I do think that they have a good chance for that. So for this one, I'm going to give the point to Ali for this one, and we'll bring it up to the tiebreaker topic.
I hope you guys are right, by the way, because I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. But
yes.
Sometimes get them.
I agree. I'm really hoping for this, and from what I've seen, I think that they got it. And from the points Ali made, I think that they got it. All right. So for the tiebreaker, we've seen a few screenshots and video of the next Metal Gear Solid game, and they're taking a page from the Call of Duty handbook and bringing in a canine companion, right for Solid Snake, complete with its own little eye patch. What do you guys think? We'll start with Tony for this one.
Stupid gimmick. That's what I think. It's a stupid gimmick. And you know that dog's gonna die. That dog is so dead. Or it'll have some sort of crazy superpower, or it'll become the next big boss, or something stupid. Because
I vote next big boss.
Because
next big boss.
Everybody knows that Metal Gear is anime. It's fucking anime. That's all it is. It's just inconceivable. The story is so messed up, so weird. I don't see the point of this. Like, I don't understand this game at all. Like, it feels like there's so many different things going on with it. It's weird. It's silly. I mean, whatever. Like, I have stopped caring about Metal Gear for the longest time now. So I guess go for it. But I think it's a silly gimmick, in all
Okay.
honesty.
Allie?
I think it's sad that they went with a cliche already after the other dog that came about. The dog will die. They have confirmed on Twitter that this dog will die if you take it.
This
It's
brings up a
horrible.
Twitter
thought.
confirmed.
If
That is-
remember that one fight with the Sorrow? Have the dog appear.
Yeah. That. Oh my God. But getting back to my point. But I think it's a cheap gimmick. It's a way to get at heartstrings. No one's going to want to use that dog and see it die because everybody loves dogs. I love dogs. I'm sure you love dogs too. I just think it's a terrible way to get tug at the heartstrings because you know everyone's going to cry when the dog dies. Anyone could die in that game. The dog dies, you're gonna cry.
This is where Snake
Will
goes
the
Super
dog have a
Smash.
cardboard box?
I would pay and buy that game if the dog.
It's
could
called a
have-
crate. Gotta call it a crate.
I
As
would
we have
pay.
on
Yeah, he has a little
otherwise.
doggy bag. He has a little doggy cage. But
But I just think it's a very cheap gimmick. I mean, if you're going to make a sad scene, don't kill the dog. Do something else. It's cliche now. Come on.
okay.
They
Alright.
can do it.
It seems we're all in agreement on this one. But
It's
so though,
stupid.
honestly, I gotta give the tiebreaker. I can't get the image of a canine big boss out of my head. So, Tony, you get the point. Okay, our champion tonight is Tony. You have 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want. Go for it.
Okay, so the thing I want to talk about, we're going back to Smash. Why the hell is Dr. Mario and Dark Pit in this game? I don't understand it. Dr. Mario was my main in Melee. I love the character, but it doesn't make any sense. They went away from making clones in Brawl. Why would they add clones back in with this new Super Smash Bros. Wii U? It doesn't make any sense. They could have put in a character like Ridley. They could have put in anybody else in the Metroid series. They could have put in, Crystal from Star Fox. They could have put in Slippy. I'd have been more happy with Slippy. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. When the company comes up with Duck Hunt Dog as a new character that's really exciting and really interesting, you think they would have at least two more solid ideas in the bank, not these two rehashed characters that are already in the game. I feel
They
like
do.
that's-
They did bring in Mega Man.
Hey, you know what? Didn't you bring in Proto Man as the other character? That would be so
That
sick.
would be awesome.
Mega Man is the most weak sauce choice. I mean, you could have had Proto Man. You could have had Zero.
You could have had X. You could have had Mega Man X.
You could have had Mega Man X.
Mega Man X,
I don't
Yes,
want to give
yes!
out spoilers, but
Could have had
X
Base.
is in the game
Could have had
somewhere.
Dynamite.
Well, yeah, he's in the final Smash. That doesn't mean he's in the game. Come on, Kyle. He's not in the game.
I would steal the controller from my nephew when he gets his Wii U of Super Smash Brothers just to play as X. I love X. I like Mega Man, but Mega Man X, oh my god, I would play it so hard just to play that character.
I feel like Nintendo hit a home run with every single one of those other new characters, except for those two.
What about
Those
the
are
Wii
just
Fit
so.
Trainer?
Yeah, Wii Fit Trainer's awesome. It's a great character. I think that's an awesome idea.
Also, Animal Crossing Villager.
Villager's like
Pretty
the
cool.
It's like the biggest,
Pretty freaking cool.
biggest internet meme generator of Smash Brothers ever. Like
Do you think this is a game?
it's awesome. What about Waluigi? That's a no-brainer. No-brainer, and he's not in there.
Waluigi, how about Wawa Luigi?
Or that would just somebody. What about? Actually, no. I like how Bowser Jr.'s in there though. He's pretty sweet.
So, what kind of fighting moves would they have?
But yeah. All right. Well,
Ike.
we'll finish up. We'll finish up
Okay.
the show for tonight. Congratulations to Tony for winning the first one back. A big thank you,
Thank you.
to Tony, Alevin, and Rob. We're looking forward to the next one, and I hope whoever's watching right now tunes in again. And signing off.